Hey everyone, Pops here from ILW Pod, and it's time for another This Day in Wrestling History. Sunday, November 23rd, and we're going to go way back. We're going to jump in the Wayback Machine. We're going to go back to the 1989 Survivor Series with my best Vince McMahon impersonation. This took place at the Rosemont Horizon in Rosemont, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago, kind of close to heart for me. We've been to quite a few events there, seen a couple shows there. Great venue, great acoustics, love it. It opens with a classic "Say Your Prayers, Take Your Vitamins" Hulk Hogan style promo where Hogan is giving thanks, it being a Thanksgiving Day tradition. And then we get another 19 or 20 superstars or so, all of which are Hall of Famers, that open up and give a little speech about what they're thankful for. Some of them are pretty funny. You'll check out like DiBiase, he's pretty funny. Then we get Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon. And I'm going to tell you, this pairing right here is amazing. I love anything they do together. Jesse was dressed as a pilgrim, so that was kind of cool. And then we get our first match. The first match is the Enforcers, led by the Big Boss Man, Bad News Brown, the Model Rick the Model Martel, and Honky Tonk Man. And the Honky Tonk Man is accompanied by Jimmy Hart, and they're going to face off with the Dream Team: Dusty Rhodes, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Tito Santana, Terry Taylor, the Red Rooster, Mr. Cock-a-doodle-doo man himself. So both Dusty and the Boss Man have nightsticks at the beginning of the match. It's kind of cool. They had just got out of a feud, so that's kind of cool. And then we also get Slick out there with the Boss Man. So we got Jimmy Hart out there with the Honky Tonk Man, Slick out there with the Boss Man. Both for Dusty's team, Tito Santana starts, and for the Enforcers, Honky starts. Then we see a couple quick tags. Rick Martel, Tito Santana, both former Strike Force members get in, and they square off. And if you don't remember, the Strike Force was kind of like the same split up, kind of like the same way the Rockers did. It was in the same kind of, it felt the same. Like it was before the Rockers. That was the big one. And then we get a pan to the crowd, and we see Sweet Sapphire, Dusty Rhodes. She had soon become a manager of Dusty Rhodes. At this point, she was just a fan, but we see her. They're planting the seeds for that Sweet Sapphire. Her and Dusty will go on to go against the Macho King and DiBiase and a bunch of greats. Martel ends up eliminating his former partner, Tito Santana, with a roll-up reversal and a handful of tights. He gets the tights, cheats. So Tito's the first to be eliminated. Next, we get Bad News Brown, and he eliminates himself after him and Boss Man accidentally, mistakenly hits him during a double team attempt on the Red Rooster. Bad News says, "Forget this," and walks out, making it a 3-on-3, evened up again. Then we get Brutus and Honky in there. Brutus ends up hitting a high knee and covering the Honky Tonk Man, putting him away with the pinfall. The Dream Team is up 3-2 at this point. Brutus the Barber then reverses a sunset flip by Rick the Model Martel to get another 3 count, sending the Model to the back, leaving only the Boss Man to go 3-on-1 with Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Dusty Rhodes, and Cock-a-doodle man himself, Terry Taylor. Boss Man hits a big side slam on the Red Rooster for the 1-2-3. Dusty hits the boss man with a high cross body and secures the victory for himself and Brutus. Boss man attacks them both after the match with the nightstick. Then Slick slides in the ring. They pull out the handcuffs. They handcuff Dusty. At this point, we get Brutus finally getting back up to his feet on the outside. He grabs the clippers, comes in, chases them all off. Dusty's busted open, bleeding, handcuffed to the ropes. It's kind of a nice scene. And Dusty is amazing, even in the polka dots. I love him. I highly recommend this match. It was a great opener, lots of action. After the match, we get Sean Mooney standing right behind the curtain where the wrestlers walk down the ring. And he's waiting on Boss Man and Slick. They come back through and they do an interview talking about the attack they just did on Dusty, the horrible things they just did. And it's a really nice visual. You can see out to the ring, see Dusty hanging there, bleeding, them helping him out of the ring. It's really cool. So I really highly recommend this match. After this, we get Mean Gene Okerlund, and he interviews the 4x4s. And the 4x4s is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Bret the Hitman Hart, the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, and Hercules. And all of which are carrying 2x4s. And I thought that was kind of cool. And they will be taking on the King's Court. Team Captain Macho King, Randy Savage, with the sensational Macho Queen Sherry, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Dino Bravo, and the Canadian Earthquake with Jimmy Hart. So it was kind of cool seeing Earthquake. This is like right when he first started. He was the Canadian Earthquake with Dino Bravo and Jimmy Hart. This was before they turned on Bravo. So it was kind of cool seeing that. So Hercules starts for the 4x4s and Macho Man starts for his team, which is kind of cool. The King in the ring first. And there's lots of quick tags, lots of real good action. And then Earthquake is tagged in by Bravo while Hercules is down on the ground. Out of nowhere, Earthquake comes in and he bounces off the ropes and does his classic Earthquake splash where he sets on your chest. I mean, he springs off the ropes, hits the ropes, and boom, 1, 2, 3 on the Hercules is sent to the showers and he isn't getting up. There's no way. They got to pry him off the mat. King's Court goes up 4-3. Next, we get Ronnie Garvin and Greg the Hammer Valentine. And they show one hell of an exchange with these loud chops. I mean, severely loud chops. It's really good action. You know, the Hammer's got that figure 4 breaker thing on his shin. It's pretty cool. Just love the exchange. And then, out of nowhere, Garvin hits the Hammer with the Garvin Stomp. He doesn't get a 3 count out of it, but he does the Garvin Stomp, and I was really, really impressed. Oh, he hits the Hammer with the clothesline and pins him, and then he's in there against Bravo. Him and Bravo, he does the stomp on Bravo. Tries to get the pin on Bravo. He can't do it. I used to love that spot, though, the Garvin Stomp. I thought it was vicious. I loved it. We get some quick tags, great action between Bret Hart and Savage before both Bravo and Garvin are brought back into the ring. Bravo hits a side slam and picks up the pinfall, putting the King's Court team up 3-2. The Macho King scores the next pinfall after delivering his patented elbow drop on Bret the Hitman Hart from the top turnbuckle, leaving Hacksaw all alone 3-on-1 to fight. At first he fights off all 3, clears the ring for a second, but the numbers catch up with good old Hacksaw. He gets knocked out of the ring to the floor, gets counted out, leaving Bravo, Earthquake, and the Macho King the winners. And then we get backstage and we get an update on Dusty, Apparently, Dusty is bruised ribs and will be taken to a medical facility. We get a cool little poem from Leaping Lanny Poffo, who is now known as the Genius. I thought it was amazing. Then we get the $1 Million Team, Ted DiBiase, the Powers of Pain, the Warlord and the Barbarian, and Zeus, who is Tiny Lesnar, better known for his role as Devo in Friday, versus the Hulkamaniacs, Jake the Snake Roberts, Demolition Axe and Smash, and the World Demolition or the World Tag Team Champions, and then Hogan, the World Champion. We get the Hulkster. So those four. And I love hearing the real American music. Jake the Snake comes out first, throws the snake in the ring, clears the ring, and then we get Zeus versus Hogan. And so Zeus versus Hogan starts out, and Zeus is using a chokehold on Hogan. He's choking him out. Hebner starts counting. Earl Hebner starts counting. He tries to break it up. Zeus throws him off. He lands on the ground. He comes back. He tries to break it up again. Zeus throws him down again. So at this point, Hebner disqualifies Zeus. Zeus has to be stopped bribed by the $1 Million Man to be stopped, or the whole team will be disqualified. They finally get Zeus out of the ring. Now, this was all to promote the No Holds Barred movie, which Hogan and Vince had did. And they had a match coming up in December where it would be Hogan versus Zeus, and with Hogan and Brutus versus Zeus and Macho Man in a steel cage. So that was all to promote that. The next elimination comes when Mr. Fuji trips Axe of Demolition with his cane. The Warlord hits a big elbow drop and scores the pin, evening the match up 3-3. DiBiase is facing off with Smash. Barbarian gets a blind tag. Smash turns into a clothesline from the top rope. 1, 2, 3 is now 2-3. Jesse's The Body's commentary about Hulk Hogan is priceless. They truly had real heat. Like, there was beef there, you can tell. The $1 Million Team works over Jake until the Barbarian misses a diving headbutt from the top rope. Jake makes the hot tag to the Hulkster. However, the Powers of Pain double team Hogan, delivering a spike pile driver from the middle rope. Earl Hebner, being the greatest referee ever, DQs both members of the tag team, leaving only the $1 Million Man to face both Jake and Hogan. DiBiase locks in the $1 Million Dream Sleeper on Hogan. Hogan gets loose, tags Jake. Virgil interferes only to get a DDT for his troubles, but causes Jake to be pinned by DiBiase, leaving him with Hogan. Hogan must pose as always. Classic comeback, big boot, leg drop. Hogan poses. And at this point, it's only halfway through the show. So Hogan will get the pose and then go order a room service. Hogan gets to do his classic room service thing. Gets out of there. Hogan poses. The crowd goes nuts. They're so behind this. Next, we get Sean Mooney with the Macho King, Sherry, and Zeus promoting their tag match against Brutus the Barber and Hulk Hogan. No Holds Barred cage match. After that, we get Mean Gene with the Hogan and Brutus the Barber promoting the December 27th cage match. Sherry Martel comes in the dressing room, starts screaming some stuff, and throws powder in Brutus the Barber and Hogan's eyes. At this point, we get Macho Man and Zeus rushing in. They attack, and then it's broken up by all the other wrestlers in the locker room. This was really, really classic. It was awesome. It was a nice way to set up the the December No Holds Bars 27th cage match that was coming up December 27th. It was amazing. Next, we get Sean Mooney with Rude's team. Uh, Classic Survivor Series interview with Rude's Brood. And then we get Mean Gene with Rowdy's team. Classic Survivor Series type interviews. Rude's Brood. Uh, Rude's Brood. Actually, they were called the Brood before the Brood. Mr. Perfect with the Genius. The Fabulous Rougeaus, Jock and Raymond with Jimmy Hart. Rick Rude with Nobody. Bobby the Brain Heating was absent. And they said it was showing problems in the Heaton family. But I'll get to the cause of it in just a little bit, why he wasn't available to be out there with Rude. So, Rowdies consist of Superfly Jimmy Snuka, the Bushwhackers Luke and Butch, and Hot Rod Rowdy Piper. Mr. Perfect starts the match with Luke. Superfly hits an absolutely beautiful splash. Perfect starts with Luke, but then they tag in Superfly. Superfly hits an absolutely beautiful splash from 3/4 the way across the ring on the Jacques Rougeau for the first elimination. He gets a 1-2-3, and Piper's team goes up 4-3. Piper hits Raymond Rougeau with a pile driver and eliminates Raymond. Mr. Perfect rolls up Bushwhacker Butch to send him to the back. Rude hits his patented Rude Awakening on Luke and levels it up 2-2. Rowdy and Rude get a double count out, leaving Jimmy Snuka and Kurt Hennig. Mr. Perfect is absolutely amazing. There's amazing back and forth between the two. Kurt hits Snuka with the perfect plex for the win, and also to maintain Mr. Perfect's undefeated record at this time. At this time, Perfect hadn't been defeated, and if he would have got pinned, he would have lost his undefeated streak. Next, we get Mean Gene Okerlund with the Ultimate Warriors teams. We get Warrior, Jim Neidhart, Shawn Michaels, and Marty Jannetty. And they're going to face the Heenan family of Andre the Giant, Arn Anderson, Haku, and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, this is the reason why Heenan wasn't out earlier with Ravishing Rick Rude. It's because it was supposed to be Tully Blanchard in this match. Tully Blanchard was supposed to have this spot, but famously, whatever you want to say, earlier he had failed a drug test. It was known that him and Arn's time was coming to an end, and they would be going back to the NWA or WCW at the time. So when he had failed this drug test, the WWE had let him go right before Survivor Series. So Heenan had to join the match to help. He had to fill in. He couldn't be there for Rude, so he was doing this. The Heenan family is already in the ring before all the Warriors team is in the ring. Jim Neidhart comes out and attacks Heenan. And then the family jumps him. Andre gets the best of him, and he clotheslines as the Warrior isn't even in the ring yet. So they're jumping Neidhart and they're jumping the Rockers. Warrior comes running down, no music or nothing, slides in the ring. As he slides in the ring, Andre knocks Jim Neidhart out of the ring. The bell rings. Warrior bounces off the ropes, does like a Braun Breaker style clothesline to send Andre over the ropes like head over tea kettle. It was a nasty bump for Andre, especially in the condition he was in. Andre hits the floor and is counted out, and right away, Warriors team goes up. Andre's out of there. And it was kind of to keep from exposing the poor health that Andre was in at the time. And also to give the Warrior a little Andre rub, sprinkle a little Andre dust on him. Haku eliminates Jim the Anvil Neidhart with a kick to the back of the head and then a 1-2-3 count. The crowd in Chicago is going nuts on Bobby the Brain Heenan with the Weasel chant, and it was nice to see the Brain back in his AWA stomping grounds. After a double team by Haku and Arn, Bobby is tagged in, and when he is tagged in, he gets a couple stomps and then pins Marty Jannetty, leaving Shawn Michaels and the Ultimate Warrior to go 3-on-2 against Arn, Haku, and the Brain. Shawn Michaels sends Haku to the showers with a high cross body from the top rope. Arn Anderson and Shawn Michaels was great working together. Great chemistry in the ring. Double A hits his patented spine buster to get rid of Michaels. Warrior hits Arn with the Gorilla Press Slam and the Warrior Splash, and only Bobby the Brain and the Warrior are left. Warrior hits the Brain with a Braun Breaker style flying shoulder tackle, which knocked the Brain plumb silly and gets the win. This was an awesome show as far as Survivor Series go. I love the action they had with the multi-man matches. I thought they made them special. It was 4-on-4. I thought it was great. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. And my recommendation is you must see it. Go see it. Go check it out. That is a Survivor Series, 1989. Go check it out. Thank you. You have a blessed day as always. All praise to God.